As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And folks, today we're going to have an amazing show. We have a very special guest who is going to be on momentarily. And for those of you who are in the jewelry business, this is going to be a prize for you guys. So stay tuned and stay composed until we bring our guest in so you guys can see what she has to offer you. And who knows, maybe you guys can purchase some of these jewelry today. Never know. Never know. It's never too late. Valentine's Day was just last week. So
right. So if you were late, then you can actually come back with something stronger this next week. Or birthdays are coming up, Mother's Day is coming up. Some other things, or just give it to her because you love her. That's all.
Just because you love her.
No reason, just because you love her.
Man, I would like somebody to give me something just because they love me.
Because you love you, right? Have you seen that meme where a couple was having an argument and they one is pushing the other one out the house, get out the house, get out the house, get out the house, right? And then as they're leaving, this is either a man or a woman, and as they're leaving, then all of the people that's been trying to jockey them all along see that they're being pushed out. Then they come over, let me help you with your suitcase, baby. And then they're like, no.
Yeah, I did see
it. Then they run out the house to drag them back in the house.
That is so hilarious.
Like, wait, whoa. Wait, what am I throwing out here? Because it seems like they're waiting outside.
That's similar to the story of one man's trash is other people's treasure,
Right, exactly. So you don't want to throw your trash out. You don't want to throw your woman out there because, man, someone's waiting on the outskirts, waiting to pick her up. Same thing with guys. Don't want to throw your man away. Just make sure before you toss him out there with the wolves that you are really done. Done. Yeah. So that's
how everyone,
you are tuned into the week. My week was actually pretty good. I didn't tune in too much to the craziness, although there was craziness going on from the White House. Some things obviously that is going to especially affect those. I was talking to a client today and they were trying to get an SBA loan and that's just not going to happen anymore. So it was a struggle. It was a real struggle. And he's in Arkansas, so it's really a struggle. And so for their wellness center that they're trying to open. But other than that, I think it was pretty uneventful. Well, there was some bad news, and it shook me. Still kind of shaking because I'm not even believing it yet.
Our favorite client, Andrea Vale.
Hey, Andrea. Jackie's sister passed. Hi, Andrea. Jackie's sister had an accident. Yeah, she fell in the pool and drowned. On
oh my Lord.
Wednesday night.
How old was she?
Mm-hmm. She's about 79, very active. Very, in fact, I think what happened was she had the pool net that you go and pull in, the trash from the pool. And I think she was home by herself. It was in the early part of the day. Jackie was waiting for her to pick her up, and she obviously didn't get there. And they're thinking that because has done this before, she takes the net and with the long arm and then put it
Hmm.
out in the pool, and it must have lost her balance and fell over in it, but no one else was around. And I was telling Jackie, is when even when we have a pool here, it has no water in it, but even when I walk around, I walk far to the other side of the fence, because it feels like when you walk around a pool, it feels like
Yeah.
it's gonna pull you in, and I mean, you get kind of disoriented. Um, even when I'm at water aerobics, I try not to stay right there on the edge, because it just makes you a little feel
Hmm.
unbalanced. I think that's what happened, and they went over and they found her there. So it's just really sad because she was getting ready to go on I guess Jackie said, the biggest cruise
Oh,
she's done in her life, and she loves cruising. She just got
I'm
back from
sorry to hear
Portugal
that.
um, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so we're really saddened by that. We don't know any more details than that. So that was about
Tell
it.
Jackie I
Other
send
than
my
that,
condolences
I certainly will, because that was just not something
because she
expected
was
at
scheduled to
all.
be on the
Um,
show in about a week or two, right?
well, Jackie's not come. It's going to be
Somebody else.
the daughter of
Oh,
James Williams, who was the very first attorney, a black attorney that was became the president of the what is it, the Bar
hmm.
Association, the California Bar Association. So she's coming next week. It will be our last show. Um, for this excerpt of Black History Month, but everybody knows Black History Month is 365 days a year. So we will continue to have conversations about Black inventors and just amazing people that have done some
Hmm.
incredible things in our lifetime. So we will continue to do that. Probably, I'm thinking every month we're going to highlight somebody, even if it's just in a conversation that
You're
you and
right.
I are having, because it's so important that we tell our own
Right.
story and not somebody else telling our story for us. So, because I think that's just it, and especially in this day and age. But here's something that I found interesting. Yesterday on the community briefing, we did an open forum. Um, we did an open forum, and it was about Black history. And as I was doing some research on it, and Black History actually had a month has a theme, and so this month was African Americans and labor. And so, isn't it ironic how many Black folks have been laid off from work
Hmm.
from the man? And that's what this month was supposed to be about. And it was also coinciding with the celebration of the Porters. Hey, Greg. Um, he said, "What you drinking? Rum punch."
No, it's coconut water. It's good for your heart. Right there. See? Vita Coco.
Good for your heart. So, and so what was I gonna say? Oh, and so we talked about that, but it coincides with the porters. We're celebrating 100 years in the Brotherhood of Porters and
See,
Maids,
nobody
which
really
were
thinks about
um
those people, but they're very important and valuable to us and the economy.
and the porters were, I mean, that was pretty significant back then. If you were a porter on a train, and even the amount of money that you made, significant to some of the other things, others, in businesses and
Got to
industries
do some
and
research on
employment
that. See
that
how much
we
their earnings are, how much they make, because no one really talks about that occupation. But those guys, I think they're steadily making some decent income.
Right. And then, like I said, during the time, the porters, let me do a little bit of history. The Pullman porter was a very, I guess, a privilege, or, I don't know what, a kind of an upper line kind of job for our Black people. And there were a number of songs and so forth, and that were created, and plays, plays, movies that were created in on their behalf. But they are celebrating their 100 years of being in existence, the Brotherhood of Porters and Maids. So for you guys, or our Black History Moment this week. That is who we are elevating and celebrating. Now, Greg, I don't know if you know this yet, and our guest is here. Hi, Cindy. We will have you on in a few minutes. Guess who we're going to have on the community briefing? Just found
Male
out
or
this
female?
morning. I'm not saying it's going to be a male.
Are they political?
No, but they have their tech. They're in the tech world.
Don't tell me that it's Mr. Hayes the third. Ah!
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing, guys. Oh man! For those of you who don't know who Isaac Hayes III is, this is the son of Isaac Hayes, the singer, the former singer who passed. And this guy has launched a social media portal, which is going to be similar to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that.
It's kind of a resident. Yeah, it's a resident sense of all of them. It's social media, so it's gonna have a feel of Facebook. It's gonna have a feel of Instagram. It's gonna have a feel. It has. It's not they have about 20 million followers and subscribers, and it's going to, and even what was that the club where you could actually do live video. It was really popular back about a year or two, about 3 or 4 years ago. So it has all of those little pieces to it, but most importantly, they are raising money to become a publicly traded company, just like Facebook. And so you can invest in it. And so I'm become a partner in it. And so I've actually set up our accounts over there.
Well, tell him I'm gonna purchase my packet. So now that he's coming on he's coming on the community briefing, we should get him on a business zone too.
Yeah, I'll work on getting him on the business zone.
$3.99 and you get 60 shares of stocks.
Yep, and so now you actually have ownership, and when they go public, they're penny stock right now, or they're actually a pre-IPO. Then you will have some. But he's raised over $18 million to run his organization, and it's a nice platform. But it just needs some focal. I mean, they got 20 million people, but you can't really see them in your
Greg
part
Sneed
of it.
Is going to purchase about 120 shares of those stocks for $800, Mr. Sneed. You got the money.
$800. That's what he's gonna do. So eventually, the business zone will be over there. I don't know if they stream yet, but we'll find out. But the other most important part I liked about it, which is why I was attracted, is it's a great place for creators, and this is in the event that something happens to a TikTok, and they really do take TikTok off the air. Although I'm hearing that it's still going to be around. But the other thing is, you start generating revenue like right away. You don't have to like we going through this torture of revenue generation on YouTube, and you got to go through all these analytics, and the analytics change every single day.
Man, to get rid of all that fake promise that YouTube and all these other platforms promise you, and they never deliver, and they got the right to go in. They take down your video. They can shut you down. They can tell you that, hey, what you just said is not community.
Oh yeah, they kick you off at any minute.
Not community
you got to play
friendly.
Game, and then right, and the algorithm changes regularly. Yeah, that all of that is a pain in the patooties, actually. So this gives you some freedom. There's some new things that we got to do as business owners. We've become very reliant on social media. It has been a great medium for us to meet people where they are right now in real time. But however, you do not own streaming pimps. Okay, great. You do not. Your stuff is there. And they can shut you down in a minute or limit your access. So that can be a problem. So a lot of people, and including us, we're heading in that direction as well as is email marketing, because that way you can create your real
Hmm.
community, and they you have accessibility to them. You have no emails or anything, for the people that are on your on your Facebook and your Instagram. I mean, I guess you could go through and create a data list, I guess, but in email marketing you have a little bit more control. I use an email marketing for the community briefing, and I know who subscribes and who comes on and who is not, and who unsubscribes off the mailing list. So it gives
That's
me a little
great,
bit more control.
Charles. I'm glad.
So that is,
I'm glad you're
so I'm
bringing him
excited about that.
on
And
your
yes,
show, and you know, and it's good to have him on because now people, the general public, get to meet him, upfront and personal. We don't get to meet Zuckerberg. We don't
hmm
get to meet all those others. So this is good. This is good
hmm
for us, the community, and the economy. So yeah,
yeah, and I've been excited. I've been looking for black owned media for years, and that's why we really truly want to
like
support
like
them,
Kendrick Lamar
to make
said,
sure
the
that.
revolution will be televised.
Right, exactly. You got to tell your own revolution, though. So, with that, Gilbert, did you
Oh
have a good week? I know you probably don't want to share all your
yeah,
good news into
I'll
next week,
share it with
but
you next week. Oh, we got Miss Peggy White
okay.
on here
So,
too.
Gilbert is,
All right.
yeah. Hey, Peggy, how are you? And we're gonna bring Cindy on in a few seconds. Yeah. So Gilbert's got some breaking
No,
news,
have
but
until
not
next
until
week.
next week. Underway. So we're gonna bring Cindy on because you got to get to the airport in a little bit, and we want to get to
Yes.
know her and learn all about her business. So I'm gonna bring her on now, and introduce you guys to this new up and coming
That we
superstar.
haven't
We're gonna
heard
call you
about
that,
in
so
our
that
community, so we got to find out why.
she's a superstar with a beautiful line of jewelry. So I was looking over there like,
Man,
ooh,
I'm not
okay.
even I'm
Let
not
me
even
make my
into those
list up.
types of jewelry, but I look at it and go, damn, I gotta buy that.
Hi, Cindy. How are you? Glad to have
Hi,
you
I'm
with
so
us
excited to
today.
be here. Thanks for having me on. You guys seem like a fun bunch, so I'm excited to talk a little bit more about my jewelry. And hey, if you like it, the website is there and available.
Cindy, welcome to the business
Yeah,
zone.
we're gonna.
I was just telling Crystal when I looked at your website and I saw the jewelry. I think it was on Instagram. I said, "Man, this is some good stuff." I said, for those people who miss Valentine's Day and they never get a chance to buy something for their lady, this is the opportunity. Still not too late, right?
It's never too late to
Not
buy
too late.
any female a piece of jewelry. I
There
will.
you go. Hey, Greg, you hear that?
Right,
It's
exactly.
not too late.
Yeah, they're not gonna turn you down for sure. So first of all, Cindy, tell me where you're from. I hear an accent, a southern accent,
Well,
or
that's
something
funny,
of
but
that
I'm
nature.
actually from Chicago, and what I'm learning now, I actually live on the West Coast in California, and I'm learning that people say that people from
Okay.
Chicago have a little bit of something. So that's where I'm originally from. But
I
now I'm
think I
much
think I
warmer
know the
weather.
Okay.
story to that. See, back in emancipation of slavery, slaves are trying to make it. Most of them move up to that direction in Chicago, Illinois, and many of those other states. So that's
Yeah,
where you'll
Detroit.
see it.
Yeah, they
That's
got
where
the.
you have a lot of those southern folks. Chicago and Ohio. Those surrounding states. So that's where
So either mom and dad had a slight accent, and she
I'm
inherited
sure.
it.
I'm sure if you speak to your grandparents or whatever, they'll probably tell you, "Yeah, we came from Mississippi or maybe North Carolina. We're from North."
Well, my cousins actually are from Alabama, and they came from Chicago, and they have still a very a strong accent, but they've since moved back to the South, so it even has become stronger. So, Cindy, tell us all about who you are. I've read you're inspired by your jewelry, but you are from the corporate world, and I guess you needed something a little bit more spicy, huh?
So I have been in the corporate world for almost 20 years. Um, Growing up the corporate ladder,
Okay.
looking for new ways to inspire myself, also inspire the teams that I lead. I was just drawn to things that are beautiful, things that sparkle. And I'm not a big tattoo girl. So for me, if what I wear is meaningful to me, right? And what I wear feeds my
Mm,
soul, gives me inspiration, allows me to express myself. And I found myself really drawn to different stones. Um, I have a bunch of different types of stones on now. You can see this pink one here, and that stands
yeah, that's
for,
beautiful.
self-love and, just remembering to love myself and being able to express myself. I have on a lapis, lazuli, which is a blue stone, and it stands for giving you your power. And so, actually, this is actually a new set. I'm doing, interchangeable stones, which is something that I want to expose people to, because, again, as women and probably as men, which I have a little bit of beads for you guys, but it's more so focused on women. You can express yourself in different ways and wear different things that, bring out the best in you from day to day. And so that's what this line is all about. And I want to get it out to people with teams, because one of the things that I found, not only was it helping me, making me smile, making me feel beautiful, and having a little bit of,
Mm-hmm.
symbolism behind it, it also was something that I can transition over to my teams. And so when I was with my teams, it was an activity that we would do together to also, yeah, to get to
Oh,
know each other a little bit more and learn more about each other, which just really kind of made us closer together. And to this day, people that I have given these gifts to, or whether we made them together, they remember these moments. It's meaningful to them. And now they're interested in other things that are symbolic.
oh, so this actually, so that is actually the inspiration of the business. Then is that you used it in your corporate world
Yeah.
as a okay, as a what do they call that? Team building. And this is a unique team
Well,
building.
sometimes we look for things that are different, right? And like people remember
Mm-hmm.
things that that are memorable and create different experiences. And that's something that I really wanted to bring into the corporate world. And so that's really the foundation of the inspiration of my jewelry line.
Okay, and so then, well, awesome! I love it. I'm going to show everyone the jewelry. They're beautiful pieces, very delicate, very feminine. That was my first thought of it. It was very feminine jewelry. Um, I love this here, the shiny bow necklace. But everything is just absolutely gorgeous. So a lot of thought goes into it. As I was reading um, your information on the guest form. So you each one has a story.
Yeah, so each piece does have a story. As you're looking here at the bracelets, the different stones have different
Hmm.
meanings. So each of them represents something different. So I don't know if this is something you can click on or click through.
Let me see. Yeah, this is your website.
Okay, so for example, if you were to, click right there in the middle with the mesmerizing turquoise evil eye, that the piece. So evil
Hmm.
eye, people wear evil eyes to protect their energy, protect against negative energy. That's something that people use. You can use when you go into meetings or when you're presenting or when you're going into big crowds, just to kind of keep your energy balance. So that's the story behind that. And there's all of them have their own story.
Oh, awesome! I'm gonna have to buy this because I wear a necklace that is the evil eye, and is actually that same color. It's turquoise stone in the middle. All right, so that's going to be on my list. Ladies, I hope you are actually making up your list. So each one of these, so this is harmony. So if you're really into understanding that stones have energy and power, and there are a lot of people that are into the stones. I have some other bracelets that have the stone that I got from Africa when I was in Egypt. Of course, here. These are absolutely gorgeous. And the red clover is
Thank you so
beautiful.
much. And I picked all of these pieces out and picked all the materials. I also wanted it to be affordable, so you can look glamorous,
Okay.
but also it's affordable for the everyday woman to purchase. So I also kept that in mind too when I was looking at the gold plated jewelry that goes with the beads.
Okay. So you're having them manufactured commercially, no longer making them, right? Or because I know
Well,
this is
it's
a
a
lot of work, I hear.
combination, and it depends, and it's a combination of
Okay.
both. And it depends on now that I'm branching out into more like teams and doing larger groups. Some of it I still do customize, so I will help create what they're looking for based on the needs of their team or what how they want to inspire their teams.
Okay. So in corporate America, obviously, and you've been in it for 20 years, you bring a host of skill sets. So how are you implementing? And the reason I ask this, can you put her link in it? Yes, I can, Greg. Um, um when I teach kids how to be business owners or entrepreneurship, and I'm always telling them it's important for them to after college to go into corporate America because there's so many skills that you learn that can make you a better entrepreneur or a better business owner. So what are some of the skills that you've found most beneficial out of your 20 years of being in a corporate environment, now translating over into an entrepreneurial type
I would
space?
definitely say leadership, learning how to lead, not only lead the people that report to you, but lead people above you as well. Leadership is not just about people reporting to you, it's about your level of influence and impact on somebody's life. So I would say that corporate America has taught me a lot about that. And one of the biggest things I'd say that I've infused into my brand is being your authentic self. I feel like a lot of times, especially it's difficult initially, you kind of want to stay within a box and, keep it safe. I think the people and the leaders that shine the most bring something different to the world. And it's okay to let your light shine, even though it's different from the people around you. And so that's really how I've gotten a lot of different exposure and how I've gotten my teams introduced to these different concepts as well.
Okay. And so is that what you have a whole sales team, or is that what is that the concept like a Mary Kay or Avon or some of the Jaffer, the ones that created businesses in
Well,
that space?
I mean, those are definitely, I mean, great entrepreneurs that do have sales teams. Yes, we are in the business of selling. Our customer base is a little bit differently. It's based on physicians and teaching them about needs for their patients. So totally different world.
Mm,
However, I feel like everything is always interconnected. So it doesn't matter really what kind of sale you're in. You're selling in order to make somebody feel better, make them feel happier, um, inspire them for that day. And I feel like at the end of the day, like I'd say actually that's probably the biggest skill I've learned, the ability to sell. So
okay.
it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It really doesn't matter if your title has sales in it. That's something you need to learn because that's what we do every day.
Yeah, we do, whether it's soft or hard sales. So it's to the
It
wellness
is.
community then.
Well, yes. I mean, doctors, they treat a lot of different diseases, and our drugs help people with different skin disorders.
Oh, well, that's a unique marketing concept. So, is that because you work in that space, or how did you come up with that one? As far as your
I'm
target base.
sorry. So maybe my target base for my jewelry brand is women. Is
Uh-huh.
women in leadership.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
what
it's
I
just
shared with you
okay.
before is just what I've been doing in corporate America. So, but I think yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
separate from my line.
Oh, separate from this. Okay, okay. Is it one day this is going to be the full time, or are you gonna
Yeah,
continue
no,
to
the
do
goal
both?
is to kind of move over here. I think sometimes when you are so used to something, it's hard to let it go, but it's time for me to evolve and grow into something different. And like you mentioned earlier, utilize the skills that I have to infuse into this. So it's been a fun journey
Okay,
and I'm
all right.
excited to see where it continues to go.
Well, this is a fun. Yeah, this is fun and it's pretty. Um, journey when you move out of corporate world into something where you're selling something that women and men love, and it makes them happy. Gilbert, do you have any?
Yeah, I wanted to know how long have you started the business? Is it about 4 years?
No, it's actually been a little over 1 year.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And also, are you looking are you looking to sell to certain type of organizations, or are you trying to get into Saks Fifth Avenue, that type of thing?
You
Trying to
know,
partner with some of those bigger stores, Costco's maybe.
yeah, I think partnering with some of those big stores would be great. Initially, first, I kind of want to work with different companies and organizations that have teams of people. And so I feel like that's kind of the approach that I'm going. But, as we continue to grow, eventually, I would probably put together some of those packages. And yeah, they would be in one of these stores.
Because I'm thinking this type of product that you have, the way they look, the attraction that they draw, being in Costco's or Sam's Club would be a good platform for you, because each one of
all right.
those has multiple stores across the country and even international.
Definitely. No, definitely. Hey, listen, I love the thought of international as well. And, you know, wherever God takes me is kind of where I'm going to be going.
Well, that's why they call me the small business paramedic, because I'm always thinking global ways to elevate small businesses. You see what I mean? So perhaps, perhaps we can do a Zoom conversation and kind of delve into this some more. See what your interests are. What are some of the things you want to do, and how to prepare you to get to that level so you can start interfacing with some of those guys. See, Crystal and I, we do guerrilla marketing. We're not regular marketers. We do guerrilla marketing. So we'll be walking by and see someone. Hey, let's talk for a second. Do you know you can use this product? Oh yes, let's talk some more. Who's the person in charge? Before you know it, they're ordering all of your stuff.
And she as well, Gilbert. I know certification and procurement is
Yeah, that was gonna be
changing a
my
bit,
next.
but yeah, because if she wants to do corporate gifting, being able to go to, be vendors at some of the bigger conferences they have would get you to that definitely that marketplace. And so becoming a
Yeah,
certified
as a
business owner
certified
would be good.
woman-owned business and
Have
minority-owned business, what she could do, because if she gets enshrined in, say, the Minority Business Council, those organizations, we're talking organizations like Disney and others, they give gifts to their employees, when they reach a certain milestone working there. Or
hmm
they could do it at their annual Christmas party. You never know. Say, hey guys, you worked very hard throughout the year. Here, take these bracelets or these necklaces or rings. You do rings also, right?
No, that would
And
be
that's
a
the goal. So everything you're saying, that is the goal to eventually get to. where companies kind of,
Okay.
are looking for different ways to
Hmm.
recognize their employees.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what we go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that would be awesome for her to so she get her, get her
yes.
certifications and so that way she can start marketing in that area. The other area, I don't know, are you part of since you're in are you in LA or are
Yes,
you just in
Where's the business
okay.
located?
So
Where's the business located?
novel.
it has a LA office location.
Okay.
Uh yeah, novel, the National Association for Women Business Owners. Are you part of them?
I am not part of that yet, so
That would be
Yeah,
a
that would
great
be a
space for
target
you to go in
organization for you.
because yeah, they a lot of those women are still in corporate America. Um there's probably more working in corporate America than there are not, and and they're leaders in that space. And since you're already in that space, you would do really well at novel. Several of my friends, Rhonda Jackson, she's actually I think
Yeah,
membership chair over
she
there
is.
now, and Deborah Hunter is over there. So yeah, check them out, and they have meetings on a regular basis. Peggy might know about them, and go to some of them. And they have a wonderful. In fact, they do have vendors because I've gone to one of their conferences. I've taken some young ladies to a conference, and when they have their breakout spaces, that's what they
You know
have.
who we can
It,
introduce her to? Uh, Gloria. 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 What's her? She coaches with you at.
Overly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gloria's
So
part of
and
novel.
she could
Yeah.
bring her in, introduce her, and all of that. So she becomes a part of that organization. The point I was going to
Mm-hmm.
also bring up is I believe Oprah is also a part of NABO. I've seen her as a keynote speaker for them, and I think she associate with the organization. So that would be a stepping stone for you because you get on the Oprah show, you're gone clear. You're up there because all you have to do is one show. I've seen people come on Shark Tank and their sales go up like 1,000% in 1 year because that's never happened. That never happens for any small business. For your sales to go up 1,000%, and it's because they've been on the Oprah show
Mm-hmm.
and Oprah included them on her special little things, that type of thing.
yeah,
So
her favorite things are
yeah,
yeah.
our favorite things, right? So something like that, man, would be
Mm-hmm.
really
Mm-hmm.
perfect, man. You would be like queen of all these jewelry.
Yeah, because Novel is national as well. So they have
Yeah,
local branches and they have a national
I
branches. So
think
yeah,
we
I
can
think that would be a
introduce her,
great.
Crystal, to Gloria June. That's her name, Gloria June, and you can take it from there because she's a part of Novel. That's a good introduction there, and it's what February now, so during May, June, July, August, they always have events, galas, that type of thing, and that would be a good place for you to be.
Yeah. Yeah, they're quite of my in colleagues or female friends and colleagues and peers are a part of that organization. So that would be a good if, networking is all part of this, right? So that would be a great space for you to be in. And the other one
Glad,
would be
glad,
my other GLAC and
yeah.
the BBA. Sarah Harris has is happening next month. Actually, she does the Women's Day conference, and she has vendors. There's that the beginning part of it is all about the vendors, and so I can give you that information if you're interested, and to connect with them. And Sarah actually does. She's probably one of the organizations that does the most events throughout the year, and so she focuses on two of them are actually
Yeah,
centered
if
on
if
women.
if she's interested in that, we can connect her with quite a few people. I think GLAC has what they
Yeah.
call the women in C-suite program that they do every year, and it's just one of those where they bring in all these fabulous women to talk about programs, contracts, or whatever they have going on in business. So this will be good for you.
Okay, well, I love all of the ideas and appreciate all of the thoughts. And yeah, I'd love to, follow up and find out more about these different organizations.
That's what we do for small business.
Yeah.
We're here to
Yeah,
celebrate you.
yeah. But I love your I think you have so on your capacity, so you're how what is it a even or more being mass produced versus you making them?
So I do work with someone who makes them, a manufacturer that is making
Mm-hmm.
mass produced for me. So if I do have big orders,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the goal now, is to kind of focus more on bigger orders. I work with groups.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes it easier. So you to go out and make the contacts and the connections, and be able to eventually get into those big box stores that you have that or big stores, Macy's and all of those stores. I think this is absolutely wonderful. A lot of times, when my when I know my clients and I'm a business coach like Gilbert, most of them migrate to it's a few jury. I have a few jury clients, not many. Not many. Most of them do some other things, and most of our people are come out and start coaching as well, using those same skill sets, but now they're selling those services to, the same or in some cases, the same organization that they left, just as consultants, so that's really, really cool. So what are some of your other, aspirations for this business, and when do you think you're gonna make that crossover?
So that's the $1,000,000 question. I, it kind of, I'm going to see where this year leads me to the business, the connections that I
Okay.
make, and the opportunities that open up. And I don't know,
Mhm.
maybe we will see what 2026 holds.
So
Okay,
here
okay.
is a
Um,
recommendation from our field correspondent, Mr. Greg Sneed, in the chat. Greg said, okay, this one is for free. Do stone color combinations to match organizations. So he's recommending that you do stone color combinations. And he's saying, i.e., pink and green stones to AKAs. I'm assuming is that a fraternity or?
yeah, that's one of the
Yeah, so
divine
that's
9.
actually a really good idea. So
Yeah.
thanks, Greg, for that thought. You're
And
right.
then red and white to the deltas. So that's what he's suggesting.
Yeah, because those are 2 of the ones that I see that, are very prevalent here in Los Angeles, There's a young lady that's in my, I do a line dancing class on Saturday on twice a week, and I mean, there must have been a AKA conference recently because boy, every week she comes in her pink and green. And then there's another one on the other side that's got her red and white. So they're in competition over there. But yeah, the sororities are very they love their organizations and they definitely represent their
So
organizations. So there's
if
many of
you're
them
interested in
that do it.
sororities, I've got a client and mentee that is from one of those big sororities, so I can introduce you to her too. You see how nice we are on the business?
I was
You
just saying.
better tell your friends to watch us and follow us, okay?
Well, listen, thanks to I heard you guys shout out Peggy White, but she is the one who introduced me to you guys. And so
Much respect, Peggy White. Thanks for recommending referring Miss Cindy Lana to be on our show today. And Peggy, you got to come back on the show and be a guest again. Greg Sneed have some more
Yeah.
recommendations for you. Uh, we're killing you with recommendations today. All right. So Greg Sneed says, corporate gifting, then he said find companies that features butterfly to your butterfly pendant. Does that sound like a good idea?
Mm.
Yeah, I mean that would be a good idea. I was actually looking at a non-for-profit organization that leveraged the
Mm.
butterfly just for one of their causes, and that was one of the companies I was going to reach out to for the butterfly.
Here's another one that Greg has. He said Tamron Hall might be easier to get to instead of Oprah. So
Well, Oprah's not on television anymore. I mean, she's not broadcasting
I
any
think
longer. So Tamara is out
Tamron
there.
is
There's
in
quite a
Chicago.
few.
Is she?
Jennifer Hudson,
Is she in Chicago?
That's
Oh, she's in New
New
York.
York. I
Okay.
think. I think they're in New York. I think she's in New York. And then you have Jennifer Hudson. That's very open to folks coming in. And what's the other one that was on The View? Can't think of her name, but yeah, they're all out there. Yeah, the butterfly. Let me think. There is. Yeah, there are a couple. Oh, and when I introduce you to Sarah Harris, her sister, Wendy Glatney, who has a organization. It's called Forgiving for Love, and it's for women and children that have been abused or battered, and so she builds, self esteem as part of that. That would be excellent for something of them as well, because she does a number of events that would be around that. Now let me jump over to the business side. So, what are your needs on the business side? I know Peggy's working with you. What are some of the other things you need on
Well,
the
you
business
guys
side?
mentioned that you do a lot of marketing. I really the key to any business, and this is, and I'm learning on this side of the things is marketing. And so I would say looking for a strong marketer, looking for someone to, join the team, whether it's from, social media but I think it's more than that. It's really finding new
Hmm.
ways to, kind of be creative and do different things that get yourself out there. So I feel like the key to most successful businesses is around marketing, and that's something that I could use a little bit more help with.
Look no more. We've got
Okay.
Cha McGinnis.
Yeah,
She's our
Cha-Cha's awesome.
marketing
In
guru.
fact,
So,
didn't she work
oh
for
yeah,
Groupon's or something? I think before she
she
went on her
she
own, she
developed
was with
and launched a
Groupon's. Yeah,
program
she's
for
an amazing
Groupon. The
marketer.
marketing program was amazing. She also did the same thing for a Ford dealership, and she was just phenomenal. She's the one who helps me with my website, Small Biz Pro, which
Okay.
leads me to your back office. Okay. So we won't talk about your back office now, but we'll talk about it on a separate Zoom conference. And we'll talk about, how we can work together to get your back office looking a certain way. Because you're going to need that, especially when you're going for your certifications. You're going to need it to maintain those documents that you need for your certification. So
Yeah, and that's
that's my
Gilbert
expertise.
expertise is the certifications, and I think that would be great for you, especially if you're going to do
Mm-hmm.
big corporate events. To have your minority women owned um,
Certification.
business. Yeah, that would be awesome,
Wasn't
and
you
and
co-host that
minority.
had a lady from, I think she was from Chicago too, and she did wines, right? She did wines, and she registered as a minority business, and she was just selling up wines like crazy to Costco's
Oh
and
yeah, I
everybody.
buy her wine all the time. Yeah, she does. Her company is called Love Corkscrew, and so she is selling in several large environments. Out here, Total Wines. She's been having a harder time getting out here than anywhere else. But Total Wines, that's what I give away for Christmas presents, and all presents is Total Wine because it's a black owned company, and it's very good actually. Yeah, and then there's some other organizations that we do some coaching for. I do some coaching for, and it may be, yeah, capital is always
Yeah,
something somebody can
yeah.
use for a business. And the Los Angeles Urban League, we do a cohort where um, it's a year-long cohort actually, and it's sponsored by Intuit, which is the parent company of QuickBooks. And they give you once you're accepted into the program, you get a year free of QuickBooks software, the top level, the top advanced level. You also get a free bookkeeper
Mm-mm-mm.
for a year, and you get and you get a what else did they give you? They give you an executive team coach, the staff of the coaching staff for the Urban League, and all of us have our different areas of expertise. And pro tax, you get your taxes. They will do your
Oh,
taxes for free, and they own Mailchimp, and so they will you'll have that package as well, and then they'll train you how to be really effective with Mailchimp from an email
Now,
marketing standpoint.
and how do
since you,
you
And
sign up for this? What you're referring
uh,
so that one, the Urban League. So we're there. We're in the middle of the second cohort right now, and so probably about they'll launch the next cohort in September, but I can get you signed in so that you're in the system. And so when that time comes up, you will, they'll send out an invite to everyone, and then you'll apply for it. And at so you get that. So probably about a July and June, July, they'll start marketing for that one. Probably more like July, and because they make all the decisions, and the cohort will start in September. We are in the middle of the second cohort. The first cohort, we're doing the graduation next month at the Intuit Bomber Stadium, and then they're going to show everybody's picture, everybody's business on the teletrons. In some cases, some of the participants got
to?
billboards, um, strategically placed in their area of where they do business. And so, and then on the backside of that, there's $5,000. But $5,000 in addition to having a whole year free of QuickBooks and a live bookkeeper. So it
Okay.
just depends. But if you're interested, I can get you some information on that. There's some other programs that pop up like that
Okay. Well, thank you guys
at
for
the
all of
Urban
your
League.
the insights and information and resources. And I'm glad I was able to share a little bit about the business and talk with you guys today. So really appreciate it.
and
And we appreciate you, and we're excited about your business. And let us know how else we can help and to get the word out there. Um, this show will be is right now streaming live on LinkedIn, Facebook, 3 Facebooks, and YouTube. There will be some short clips that will be going out every day, and so you can grab some. I'll send you the if you go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe over there, you'll get notifications every time we do a blast out, and then use that on your Facebook page and on your social media as well.
All
and
right. Awesome.
and I just wanted to add real quickly before we go that since Miss Peggy White referred you, I'm sure you're probably doing some work with Miss Peggy White as well, right? She's probably your consultant. So we don't want to step on Peggy's toe. Peggy, we don't want to step on your toes. So what we could do is see where there's a gap, what areas Peggy isn't doing with you, and then we could probably talk to you about those other areas, and then some of these introductions that we're going to do, and try to help you grow into that $1 billion tycoon that you're going to be. So just wanted to put that out there for you.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so
And
much.
it, yeah, you're so welcome. Hey Gail, how are you? Gail
Now,
was on.
co-host, I think I'm gonna have to bid out right
Well,
now.
actually, we're going to close the show, so we
Oh,
want to thank Cindy for coming, and you're welcome
oh
back
yes.
anytime. And I will send you some in the information and get you signed up. So we want because if there's free money out there, free programs and software, you want to be part of that.
You know what she can do, co-host. As soon as she reaches a milestone, she could come back on the show, talk about that accomplishment. we big her up some more so the world knows about her. And then she gets to another milestone again. We bring her on again. And
Oh, for sure. We're
how does
all
that
about.
sound to you, Miss Cindy?
I think that would be great. And I love that you guys are already putting that out in the universe. And
Hey,
listen, I receive all of it.
Yeah, I want to see her in one of the magazines, Cosmo, or one of those magazines you open
hey,
up and that beautiful
look,
jewelry is
look
on
at
the
that
on the
smile on
front
her
page.
face when she hears it. She's giving you that big smile, like, yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. It has been so wonderful to meet you, and yeah, let us know, and I'll get you information over over to you, and then we'll go from there. So thank you so much for joining us today.
It was great to see you guys and chat with you guys. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Did you put your contact information in the chat so folks who are
Oh, I
listening?
did put her website in.
Oh, you
Let me
did?
do it. Yeah, I did. Let me do it
Okay, so they can
again.
get a hold of you, and who knows, place a big order today. You never know.
Yep, my website, she put my website in there. And if you need to contact any further, there's an email that you can click on through my website if you
Okay.
want to learn anything more.
All right, guys. So going over her website. If you got to get a beautiful gift for holidays coming up, Mother's Day, birthdays, just going over there because there's some beautiful stuff that your if it's you or your mom or your sister, your significant other, your wife, she will absolutely love it. Greg, going over there and get Faye some pretty outfit, some pretty jewelry. She'll love you, guy.
So let me ask this question real quickly. On your website, do you accept credit cards?
Absolutely, of course. Yes, credit cards, PayPal.
Okay,
Um,
I might be visiting that site this weekend. So
Oh,
I
wow.
I'm not usually a jewelry purchaser kind of guy, but you never know. This weekend I might want to support you a little bit.
okay, well, let me help.
That'll be saying a lot for you,
That
Cindy.
will be saying a lot, exactly. Because usually,
Yeah, usually you're not. But thank you for joining us. Gilbert's getting ready to run to the airport. So
yes,
we're going to close. Before we do, though, Gilbert, need to let everybody know we had talked about this before the beneficial information or the BI, what is it, the BOI?
yes.
Um, it was due January 31st and it was in court. And so now finally the verdict has come in. You need to get it done by March 31st, or it's
Oh
going to
wow.
have some really, really, really steep penalties up to $10,000
Oh
if
wow.
you don't. And it's for all. The only it's non-props are not part of this equation, but all corporation
So all
structures,
legal structures have to do
all
it.
legal structures have
Sole
to do.
proprietorship, LLCs.
No sole proprietor, just LLCs, LAPs, S corps, and C corps.
Holy moly. Okay, folks, you just heard that from my co-host. You got to get your BOI compliance in place. Does it cost anything to register for it?
No, they want you to just to do the filing, but if you don't file, you're going over to.
By
I'm going to
March
put
31st, right? If you don't do
Yeah,
it.
and you're gonna go over to FinCEN, and I'll put that in the chat right now. Oops, in the chat right now. Go over there. It don't cost anything. But you do have to file by March 21st, 2025, so that you don't incur um um any what do you call it? Any penalties if you're getting your taxes done. It'd be too late for April. So if you're doing your taxes, if you are what is it, multi-membered LLC, then your tax person can probably take care of it, or you can reach out to your tax person. But you have to do that. You can go to that website right there, and they have the link that you can do your e-filing, and it's just basically making sure that you are reporting the beneficial ownership of your company. And this is an order that came down from Congress in 2021, and it didn't get enforced until this year. But someone took them to court, felt that it was illegal, and a privacy, breach of privacy. But they felt that no, that did what they didn't. The judge
Well,
overruled.
the reason they lost, well, I think the big reason they lost that is because that information is already with the Secretary of States of all state. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
it couldn't be an invasion of privacy if that's the same type of information they'll be requesting. What they probably should sue for is say, hey, why don't you have reciprocity with the Secretary of States? And then just get that information from them. Why do we have to fill that out? You see what I mean? That's what they should have sued for, but they weren't thinking that way. So
No, so yeah, so and it's basically to deter some of the bad characters, the bad actors, as they say, the
yeah,
bad actors that have shell companies, and they just want to make sure. So that just let you know, just so you don't incur any unnecessary charges. Make sure you go out and do that, and then tax season, if you are an LL, a multi-member LL LLC, you guys' taxes are due March 15th. So hopefully you've already gotten it to your CPA. And then for the rest of the world, April 15th. And if you are part of the LA fires, you have been given a reprieve and you don't get you can they'll an extension to October 15th. So just that's some updates on the new on the tax world. So make sure you
okay.
guys
And
go over.
before we go, co-host, you want to pop up the QR code so they know
Oh
how to
yes.
get a hold of us, how to subscribe to the channel, and be a part of the business zone where you too
I
can be
certainly
a guest on
will.
the business zone.
So you guys, and we got a new subscriber over there, Miss Gail Coles. Thank you, Gail. Gail was in my class last night. Gail is in the going into the accounting world and bookkeeping. So we had a great time. I did a class
Very
for
nice.
Vermont Slauson. So here's the subscription, the QR code for subscribing for the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We are here every Friday afternoon and 3 o'clock. And we'd love to have you subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. You get all kinds of great tidbits of information. We also are now selling product. And so if you're, this is for Black History Month and just being proud of being a Black business owner. And this is for the Black History. This is actually a whole series that you can buy, and it talks about it is actually the celebrating the history of our of Black history, inspired by our ancestors. So going on, you can reach out to me, and we or hit that QR code there and go right on over and buy that. They will be up on our website in the next week or so. So that's to let you know that. But most importantly, we want you to
See,
subscribe to our
Gail
channel.
Cox just said thank you because she had a hard time finding you or finding us. Said I don't normally do podcasts, so this is new for her. So yeah, please send it to Gail Cox so Gail can be one of our next subscribers and even be a guest on our podcast. Gail, please reach out to Crystal or myself, and we'll get you on the show so you can talk about your business and your products and services. Okay. So
Awesome, awesome.
before
So
I go,
Greg,
I want to say a shout out to Peggy White. Peggy, thanks for referring Miss Cindy Lana to our show as a guest. Much respect to you. Want to shout out our favorite client, Andrea V. Hill. Andrea she's just phenomenal. She's up there in Vegas doing great things in the electrical contracting world for her woman-owned business, and she's received so many awards and uh, commendations for the contributions that she's making to the economy. Greg Sneed, our field correspondent, thank you for joining us on the podcast. And who did I miss? Shout out Miss Gail Cox. Gail, thank you. I think I
and
missed.
then your buddy Greg, who says that when you take the money out your wallet, Hamilton squints his eyes.
Greg Sneed said, when I take the money out of my wallet, Hamilton. business. Oh man, he should
Oh,
be a comedian, man. He should
oh,
have his
yeah,
own
he should be because
stand-up.
he's actually, yeah, he's very funny. Yeah, he always been that way. Well, Greg, thanks for tuning in, and I missed you yesterday. Greg went to a conference. He went over to BizFed conference that happened yesterday with Kevin Harbor. And so he wasn't on the business zone. Me and Robin held it down. Yeah, I mean the community briefing. We held it down yesterday. It was a great show.
Mhm.
So, all righty, everyone. We're gonna let Gilbert get to the airport so he does not be late.
You're right.
And we want to thank you for joining us today. Have a great week. Remember, Black History Month is every day for 365 and sometime 366 if we have a leap year. So make sure you are supporting and uplifting and honoring our ancestors during this particular month and being very vocal and visual about it. And then we'll go back to our regular scheduled channels of supporting ourselves without a whole lot of eyeballs on us.
All righty now. So
All
thank you
righty.
guys. And thank you for tuning in today. We'll be back next week again. We may have a guest or we may just do class in session for you. So
Well, actually, next week we're doing. We may have a guest, but nevertheless, whether we have a guest or not, we are honoring. And this one's kind of close to my heart because it's my business partner's uncle,
yeah,
and he's ancestor now, and we're honoring him for Black History Month. His name is J.D. Williams. He was an attorney, and he was the very first Black attorney, African American attorney that was elected board president of the California Attorneys Bar Association. So we're honoring him and all of the wonderful works that he did because he trailblazed so many attorneys today could be attorneys today. So we want to thank you all. Come on back next week because that is our final day in our very short month of February for Black History. And then in the month of March, we are celebrating women because that is National Women's Month. So come on back to us and we will see you all next week. And Gilbert, be careful going to the airport. And and Greg, I'll talk to you next week. And bye-bye, everyone.
you take care, my calls. Talk to you
You
guys soon.
too. All right, bye-bye.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes I'm a